Okay, and we are live. We are here. We are live now. We have about 17 people now. People are still signing in, but the format's going to be like this. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about. Everybody's going to literally less than 15 seconds and under 15 seconds discuss how they're getting back to work, any specific challenge in that or help that they want from anybody in the group, and then anybody who hears them or listens to them can take a note out afterwards and can be in touch with them if they can help them. So that's the key here. For everybody, in 15 seconds or less, I'm going to go through the whole group of people who are signed in here, and we're going to hopefully get to everybody. And again, 15 seconds less, I will cut people off if it's too long, so we can get through everybody. And then I want to do breakout rooms with smaller people, with smaller groups of people that we can have more discussion within the breakout rooms. As I said to those who signed in earlier, I'm sending in the chat. Look at the chat, please. There's a shared spreadsheet with information of all the attendees or everybody who registered. And this is, I think, very important for you to be able to follow up and with people who you met here and have this spreadsheet handy. If you see information, if you're not on there, fill yourself out there, please, nicely. If you have any information you want to update, do that as well. So in the chat, there's that spreadsheet. Yissi, I sent you a few more people that registered this morning.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, just give them the invite, give them the link, and then we'll have them. Okay, so let's get started right now. Let's get started again. 15 seconds or less, getting back.
15?
Getting back. 15. 1-5.
Okay.
1-5. It's getting right quick. But the idea is everybody should take notes, and everybody who's talking to see if they can follow up or talk with them, or do a chat with them as well. So let's start. Okay. The problem is also I like the list of people, all the participants. I'd really like to see who showed up first and give them the order, but it's random. It's very random, the participants.
Actually,
so yeah.
I think after everyone puts in their 15 seconds, they should also write that in the spreadsheet.
Write what in the spreadsheet?
What they just said in 15 seconds, like put it into the spreadsheet so people can go back to it later.
Okay, that's a great idea. You mind adding that in the last column?
15-second pitch. Yeah,
15-second pitch. Well, it's not really a pitch. It is a pitch, but it's more going into what's going on now with coronavirus and getting back to work. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to just go through my list here in Zoom. It's a random list. It's not necessarily the order of the people who came in first or registered first, but I'm just going to go with that order. So we're going to start first with you, Jacobson. You're the first one. Go ahead. You'll set the standard for everybody. 15 seconds or less. What's going on in your business and what you're looking. 15 seconds. What's going on?
All right. So first off, we're CPAs and attorneys. We have been operating. We've been filing people's tax returns, businesses, corporations, partnerships, all manner of entities, 501c3s. The issue for us is twofold. Courts are closed. They're starting to reopen, so where we need access to the courts, we've been having issues. And the second thing is getting paid. We've been doing work, but people are lacking funds. So, and for PPP work, payroll protection loan purposes, we haven't really been charging people for the work we've done. So hopefully those people, when they're back up and running, will come back to us, thanking us for the work we did for them, and then giving us their business going forward.
All right, thank you. Just add that if you want to add that to the spreadsheet, that'll be great. Okay. Next we have Avraham David Gelfish. You're on. About 15 seconds or less. What's going on in your business, and anything that you can speak about in that time frame.
Okay, so I had started building up a technology business before, like a IT business before Corona hit, and then I basically now I'm trying to pivot to a home automation business. So where I provide home automation services for people who like automated lights, automated lights, thermostats and stuff in the house.
Okay. I guess you have all the information in the spreadsheet, so anybody who follow up with David Gelfish. Okay. Next, we have Matt Erd.
Hello.
Matt?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Awesome. Yeah, company's Bavel Technologies. We do MSP, IT, and so managed service providers, if you're not aware. And we partner with cybersecurity softwares. One of our partners had an initiative giving, since everybody's working from home now, we're offering free protection for home users on their, for people who are already customers. So that's one of the initiatives we had.
All right, cool. Thank you. Again, add yourself in the list there and edit any information that you might have. David Jassy, you're on.
Shalom Aleichem. How are you? David
Good.
Jassy, DMJ Studios in New York, video production company and digital marketing company. We pivoted not only to create great videos for events, but now we're doing virtual events also, putting on a nice hour TV show, hosting it on a website where you could do donation buttons, very similar to what everybody has seen Hatzalah do so successfully. They have a video on there, they have donation options, and they have cut packages and some live. That's the same type of thing we're doing.
Absolutely not. I actually love American.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Yehuda Freilich.
Hi, nice to meet you. Actually, I live in Israel. I run a company called Outsourcing to Israel. We help American companies that are looking to hire good American talent that could work for them from Israel. Actually, since COVID, we've been getting a lot of companies that are open now to the idea of hiring remote people. I think that what we could be helpful a lot with companies is if a company is looking like for someone to work for them part-time, you're looking for a part-time bookkeeper, you're looking for a part-time virtual assistant, you're looking for someone to help you with your marketing. So you don't have a big commitment. We could help you find the right person to work for you from Israel. They're Americans and they kind of understand the American culture. So you get, the best of all.
Thank you, Yehuda. By the way, this is one of the advantages of having our things online, is that instead of being in person, we get so many more people like Yehuda, who's in Israel, who can actually join us and participate. So,
can I just cut in for a
and
second?
by the way, thank you for doing this at 4 p.m. by us, 9 a.m. by you, and not at 4 p.m. by you, 11 o'clock by us.
Right.
Yehuda,
So,
please
yeah,
add your information into the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay,
for all
sure.
those
We'll
people,
do.
look in the comments and add your information in the spreadsheet. And yeah, so by the way, on this note, I just want to add that many people have expressed interest in not just having, once we get back to normal again and back into in-person meetings, to also have a, not just do them all in person, but every once in a while do an online event like this, so we can have a broader range of people that can't necessarily make it in, and they can still participate as part of our group. All right, thank you, Yehuda. Next, we have Scott Rosenstock. Scott,
Hey,
you're
how
on.
are you?
Good.
Okay, so I work for Eastern Union. We're commercial mortgage brokers. Throughout COVID, one of the things my company did was we pivoted to take our relationships with our banks that we use for commercial mortgages to help people obtain the PPP loans through the SBA. And now, thank God we're seeing the real estate market open up. There's a lot of movement, lots of transactions. People are looking to buy, people are looking to refi. So we're back up and running.
All right. Thank you. Again, add your information to the spreadsheet. John Armini, you're up next.
How do we get to the spreadsheet again?
In the comments, if you look at the chat, I'll add another link again to it. Okay, here's a link. I just added a link to the chat, so check the group chat and then you can just book it directly. It's an open spreadsheet, so you can just edit in your information and you can also download it and grab anybody else's information.
I see a bunch of people who are coming into the group now that did not put the information onto the spreadsheet. So everyone, please, if I didn't put it on for you yet, please edit it now. Thank you.
I don't see the link in the chat. I don't know.
It's in the chat there. Yeah, a lot of people have put it out. Does everybody see the link in the chat? Oh, I see
When
one.
you come in late,
Let's try it again.
when you come in late, you don't see it.
Okay, and now I sent it to everybody. It should be there again now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, John, you're up again.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. John Armini, we are a management consulting practice. We've been in business 2005. Keeping it simple, if you hear people, the presenting problems that people come to us with typically is to say we don't execute well, we're losing customers, we're not growing like we could. We don't manage as well as we could among ourselves. We kind of work in silos. So we work with organizations that kind of present those problems. And the one thing I'm finding myself working on now is people presenting themselves they now have to rethink who they are, both individually and perhaps their organization, and how to present themselves in a Zoom format or on a Zoom interview or making a presentation. So I find myself seeing more and more of that because I'm hearing people and I realize presenting who you are is a real critical piece. So John Aramini Management, we're in Franklin Lakes, New Jersey. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Jonathan Schloss, you're next.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. Jonathan Schloss from law firm of Schloss & Schloss. We're a small law firm in Rockland County. I deal with commercial litigation, business disputes, real estate disputes. I also have a subspecialty of liquor licensing, which is dealing with restaurants, bars, bodegas, that type of thing, when somebody's buying or selling a restaurant or just wanting to sell alcohol. That aspect of the practice slowed down, came to a screeching halt in March, but now I'm seeing that a lot of restaurants, or some restaurants and entertainment places, are looking to be a little creative with their spaces. And that aspect of my practice is picking up a little bit more now, also with people in that business looking to position themselves in a post lockdown world. And also regarding my litigation part of my practice, while courts are very slow, I'm able to push cases forward a little bit to the extent that I can, getting up to speed with whatever paperwork on cases. But because I deal with real estate litigation often, I've also been able to pivot a little bit because I see some strange pieces of property with like weird legal backstories that I can now pivot a little bit into brokering. I've been able to do a little bit of that as well. With my law license, you can broker as well. So that's what I've been doing.
Thank you for that information. That's perfect. We just want to hear really related to the specific times as well. That's good information to share. Next we have Malka Dina T. You're on.
Hi, my name is Malka Dina. I am doing business development for Jason Leff at H Harmonious, a payroll company, and I will deflect for him because I just started. So.
All right. Thank you. Again, for anybody new who joined, I still see people joining. In the comments, there's a spreadsheet. Please fill your information out. Okay. Next, we have Ken Goffstein.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Ken Goffstein. I'm a residential mortgage lender with Fairway Independent Mortgage. And the truth is, not much has changed for me because we adjusted on the fly with the lockdown. I'm working remotely, as are the other 7,500 employees of my company. And yet, April and May are 75% increase in volume. We went from about 10 billion a month in March to about 16 billion in April, and we're on target for about 18 billion in May. And just about 4 years ago, that was the total annual volume. So, we've adjusted, and I'm just looking forward now to real estate offices opening back up so that we can get back out there. But we're not really quite there yet. But it hasn't hurt me volume-wise. So rates are good. Hopefully stay good for a while. That's the outlook, and that's it. Ken Goffstein, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Ken, what's the secret to making $1 billion?
No, that's not what I'm netting.
All right. Next we have Shmuel Septimus. I just want to point out that Shmuel came to he came all the way from Boston to our last year's LinkedIn local event that we made. And I have to just publicly shout out to Shmuel. He just him and I are working together on a web project together that he's given me. So you see, this networking really works. I'm getting real business from people like Shmuel and others in the group, and we just started working on a project together. Thank you, Shmuel.
Okay, well, thank you for the introduction. It's certainly easier to come in from Zoom than to drive in from Boston. My main business is I do virtual tours for nursing homes. I've been doing this before COVID. And now I get calls that people wish they had the product, but they don't allow me in to do my magic to make the tours happen. So ironically, that's a little bit on hold until the nursing homes open up a little bit more. In the meantime, I have a podcast, nursinghomePodcast.com, and as a result, service providers to nursing homes have reached out to help them with their content marketing to sign up more nursing home clients. That part of the business is starting to pick up a bit. So Shmuel Septimus, SNF Marketing.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Jason from HR Harmonious. Jason, you're on.
Good morning. Jason H. Harmonious, personalized payroll solutions for small to mid-sized businesses. COVID, a number of my clients, had to pause their businesses, during the shutdown. Most of them are making their way back up. Been very busy helping clients with their PPP, getting whatever reports they needed. We didn't charge anyone any extra for it, just kept me busy, very busy. But that's fine because that's the kind of service I like to give to my clients. Also working with them, trying to figure out how to manage, how to clock their time while they're working at home and figure out the best system for them. Jason H. Harmonious.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Gabriel Jacobson. You're on.
Hi, my name is Gabriel. I have a few different things I always work on and always look for new opportunities that I can mix in with. My primary day job, I'm an accountant for a manufacturing company called Jordache. Then I started out some ice hockey programming on the side just to help and just to have fun. And we recently, during COVID, launched an occupational therapy facility under my wife's practice. And that's what we've been focusing on now, and opened an office in Muncie and Monroe.
All right. Thank you. Next we have Joel Appel. Joel, you're on. Joel, you there? All right, we'll get back to him. We'll give him another chance later. Again, anybody who's add your 15-second pitch into this spreadsheet as well, so that way people can identify you. And also, by the way, if you have, we have everybody that one of the fields is a LinkedIn link, so you can actually see the person's face from their picture and see who they are. Okay, next we have our very own, Michael Pariser, Yitzi Pariser.
Hi, everyone.
One second, Yitzi, a shout out to him. He really is instrumental to putting this together and getting all the people here and making it happen. So, so thank you for all your efforts in getting this up and running. Thank you, Yitzi.
Thank you to everyone for showing up today, too. You guys want this thing to happen. So thank you very much. I work for Heshy. We build custom websites for small to mid-sized companies. We are looking to build all of your websites, too. So if you need a new website, let us know. If you think you need a website, but you're not sure, contact us. We'll walk you through the process, and we'll get it done for you.
Thank you. Okay. Penny Mazzaro, you're next.
Thank you. I'm a licensed public adjuster with Bulldog Adjusters. I've been helping people throughout we've helped people retrieve millions of dollars in damages. Right now I'm doing a lot of damages due to the storm, storms that have been happening, as well as to the rioting and looting. I've done a few claims yesterday, so it's been a wonderful, interesting things where some people lose money and others gain from it. So
interesting. All right, thank you. Add your name to the list. I think you're there already. Just add your pitch. That's an interesting comment there to add. Okay, Chaim Saberstein, you're up.
Hi, this is Chaim Saberstein with the Front Page magazine. Obviously, our big challenge was retail shutting down. So we're shifting, trying to get more institutional advertisers. Hopefully, with retail opening up, we'll hope to get new leads that way. But what I'm here to talk about today is I actually got involved in the second company called Synergy Green, setting up people with solar energy on the house, saving a lot of money. Completely different company. I'm bringing them in. I'll be running their monthly operations while running the Front Page. And we're talking about saving people serious money. We're not just talking about saving a couple dollars here and there. I have one customer I put together a proposal. She'll be saving $93,000 over the next 25 years on her home energy bills. So anybody looking to either for yourself to save money on, or if you're a financial planner and you want to add this to someone's long-term financial goal, consider doing solar energy on your house, and you can save a lot of money. Chaim Saberstein, Front Page magazine, and Synergy Green. Thank you.
By the way, if I can just give Chaim a shout out, he's got really good specials now. During Corona on the advertising in the front page, we actually got an ad through him. So I want to thank him for the special deal he gave us. So if right now is a good time to get an ad in with him. So I just want to point that out. Okay, next we have Aaron Deutsch. You're on.
Okay, hello there. Aaron Deitch here from Norman Bobber & Co. We are commercial real estate brokers in New York City and the boroughs. We help tenants exclusively with buying or leasing commercial office space or any other type of commercial space. During COVID-19, our focus really shifted to helping businesses reassess how much space they actually need. Do they actually need offices in New York City? Are they in a long-term lease and need help renegotiating? We're here to help, consultations, looking for new space. So feel free to reach out to me, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Again, anybody who's joined, there's still more people coming in. In the comments, please look at the chat and add your name and information if you're not there, or update it, and as well as to just put your quick sales pitch at the last row in that, or the last column in the field. Okay. Next we have Chaim Book. Chaim, you're on. But by the way, before you speak, Chaim, I just wanted to let you know, Chaim had us do a website for him, which we launched about 2 weeks ago. Since that launch, I have 3 other law firms that we're working with now because of that website, either through introductions through Chaim or through other people. So thank you, Chaim, not just for your own website, but for the other 3 that I've gotten for law firms after we did that project together.
Thanks, Heshy. Yeah, you did a great job on the website. Highly endorse Heshy and his company. Very talented and very wonderful to work with. My name is Chaim.
We got to know each other from this group. That's how we got to know each other, and that's how we got to do business together. And I refer business to Chaim also.
That's true. Definitely true. My name is Chaim Book. The law firm is Moskowitz & Book. I practice employment law, and this is a very, very busy time for employment law. From the beginning of COVID, running through today, we've been nonstop helping people with questions about unemployment. We ran an unemployment hotline for Kupas Ezra that was very helpful and very gratifying to be able to give back to the community and to help so many people who are in need. We also are helping a lot of small business owners grappling with all the issues with, do I let people go? Do I bring them back? Do I have to keep some people on for PPP? I have to be able to afford to be able to keep them. So we've been grappling with a lot of those issues. And now as things open up again, people want to bring employees back. The challenge of, well, what my employees are making more money on unemployment than I can pay them? What do I do about that? Which is an interesting issue in and of itself. So yeah, we're doing a lot relating to the current crisis, and I'm working from home and enjoying not having to schlep into Manhattan every day. So always happy to help someone by answering a question, having a schmooze about what you can do to make sure that your business is in compliance with all the new regulations regarding COVID and with all the pre-existing employment laws that are out there. Again, it's Chaim Book, Employment Law.
Thank you, Chaim. Max Callis, all the way from Toronto. You're on.
Thanks, Heshy. So Max Callis from Smarter Leads, coming from Toronto, Canada. I've been friends and business associates with Heshy for a while now, and decided to come and check out this virtual group you guys have been running, and it's great. So I provide digital marketing services for small businesses. During COVID, I've been helping a lot of businesses pivot and start generating more leads using the internet now that some of their other lead channels or sales have decreased. And right now, how you can help me is I've pivoted a bit, and I'm helping companies more on a broader scale with their marketing. So I've just been developing an advanced marketing audit, because now is a good time when people want to save money to look at where you're spending your money and the leads you're generating from it and the sales and what's working and what isn't. And so right now I've developed this audit, which I plan to sell, but currently I want to run it by a few businesses at no cost, just to test how it works and is it valuable before I actually start to sell it. So if you know anyone or your business would like to get this marketing audit, then I'd be happy to help. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, for all those new that joined in, again, there's still people joining. It's literally a 15-second pitch of how your business is getting back to work post-corona, or any help or information you can use, or anything you want to speak about on that topic. 15 seconds. Okay, David Kogel, you're next. David Kogel, you're on.
Good morning, everybody. David Kogel. Thank you, Heshy. First, a shout out, Heshy. Thank you so much for pushing and keeping us all on our toes. Thank you.
It's hard during this time, but you know what?
Very hard.
We have a lot. You know, we have people here that are networking. Even if we can't get together, there's
Right.
lots of people here, and this is the way to do it. When
You got to keep selling. You have to never stop selling. Even in my case right now, I'm a banker, David Kogel, Sterling National Bank. We're in the middle of an audit from the OCC, which means every loan file has to be documented and filled and made sure that it's current and compliant. So we have no time for new business right now, but it's still important to make time for new business. So thank you, Heshy. David Kogel, Sterling National Bank, middle market banking, primarily business banking for companies that need robust treasury management services. My typical client is keeping $1 million or more between their business accounts. And I'm not an investor, I'm not personal wealth management, just intense business banking. We lend as well, but right now my focus banking. David Kogel, Sterling National Bank.
Even if you can't, if you're not looking for new business now, when you network like this, in 2-3 months from now, when you are, somebody will reach out to you, you know, possibly from this. So
of course,
it's all
plant
about
the seeds.
Yeah. Okay, Benjamin Blackman, you're on. Benjamin Blackman. Okay, he's not picking up, so we'll put him down at the end. Michael Schuck, you're on.
Morning, Michael Schuck, Bookkeeping Services. I'm a QuickBooks specialist and pro advisor. I always work out of my house anyway, so the coronavirus hasn't done much to affect me. I have helped a number of clients get the PPP loan, as well as continue to work for clients. Most have been able to pay, some haven't, and they'll, as business goes back in, they'll be able to help. During this time, from a prior lifetime, I've been giving people sanitizer, which is sitting here, and if anybody needs still, let me know. And
I picked up for Michael, by the way, and I really appreciate it. I have all my sanitizer needs now taken care of for you.
And that's it. You know, I've got a few more clients that have come my way due to word of mouth, because all of my clients are word of mouth. For me, marketing doesn't work. If it's someone's not going to come to me unless someone recommends me. So if anybody needs any bookkeeping with QuickBooks or problems with QuickBooks, whether you have it or don't, I'm the guy. Give me a call.
Thank you, Michael. Jonathan Kaplan, you're next.
Morning, everyone. Jonathan Kaplan, Yachad Gifts. We're a gift basket company. We employ individuals with disabilities and ship across the U.S. and Canada. Right now, our main offices are closed, so we have a couple of solutions to help with that, and using some of our friends from other companies to help us. So we're hoping to get back for the Rosh Hashanah season in August, but right now we are still doing baskets. A lot of companies need baskets to remind their clients and vendors that they exist, to remind, just to say hi, thank you, you know, for all your hard work outside of the office. A lot of people are sending to their employees all over the U.S. So definitely keep us in mind. If there's anything that we can do to work with any of the businesses here or individuals, feel free to reach out.
All right, thank you. Rafi Salem. Rafi, you're on.
Hey, that's very exciting. So Rafi Salem, Reputation Management, SEO, digital marketing for over 20 years. I've been working with Heshy and other companies and professionals. Well, Heshy isn't represented unfairly or accurately in Google search results, but some other people are. So I've been helping them get more sales leads, but also protecting their reputation online. Negative articles, pictures, real news, fake news, social media, and bad reviews can hurt every business. So call me anytime for a free consultation. I have a free questionnaire on my website. Everything is referenced on the Google Doc. I'm also launching weddingseason.com. So I am looking for any wedding vendors that you know that would like to get some free advertising and non-free advertising. And best referrals for me are PR firms, lawyers, other digital marketers. I love to collaborate, especially the guy in Canada. What was that, Max? We should talk. And lastly, I've got webinars and networking groups on Thursday mornings. So I'll put that in the Google Talk too. Heshy, you're the best. Thank you very much. And Michael Yitzi, you too.
And thank you, Rafi. It's great to see you again after all these years on the networking events that we used to go to in the past times. Thank you for joining. Okay, Nick Davidson, Before I introduce Nick, I just want to let everybody know that he behind the scenes also has put a lot of effort into making this happen. He's really a really hardcore, dedicated man of the group here, and a lot of this is because of his help and effort here. So Nick, you're on.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Nick Davidson, the Smart Solutions Group. We are a firm of business consultants here to help companies scale and grow, identify what are the obstacles in the way that are preventing them from doing so. You'd asked, I think I came late, Heshy, so you'll forgive me, but I meant to talk about specifically Corona, or
15 seconds about Corona. How you
15 seconds about Corona. Fantastic.
Getting back to
most companies.
Corona.
Absolutely. That's my 15 seconds. Most companies are needing to understand how to pivot, and in many cases, it's quite a complicated process for them to recognize how they can get themselves running optimally. You're not looking to get back to normal. You're looking to understand what the new normal is and take advantage of the opportunities. We're happy to provide a free consultation to help you figure out what that is.
Thank you, Nick. Naftali, welcome to our group. It's a pleasure having you here. Please give your introduction.
Thank you, Heshy. Naftali Hoff. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and I'm helping clients right now find the opportunity on the other side of uncertainty. Corona has really hit all of our clients, at least mine in many ways, but trying to help people be more productive, to lead remotely, understand the challenges that they're dealing with, that their people are dealing with, and then to work through that effectively. So just launched a small business mastermind, a business leadership mastermind. Would love to talk to you about that. And actually going to be starting tomorrow with a back to work boot camp with career coach Shana Karen. So if you know anybody who is looking to get back to work or find a new career path, something that maybe they see this as an opportunity to pivot, this would be a great way to do that. I'm going to be linking that up in the comments, and please check out my website for all sorts of free goodies, ebooks, podcasts, blog, you name it, it's there.
Thank you. Thank you. Swirly Brook, you're on next. Swirly?
Yeah, hey, how are you? All right, it's Swirly Brook from the Swirly Group. We help companies launch IT projects. COVID has been specifically hard for us. I was a startup. I started back in May. We were working on new clients, and a lot of clients froze their assets when COVID came in. They all backed out on their projects. With very little work left, I had to change up my approach. I started working for equity with one of my clients. So I'm just acquiring equity in the company. I also working on starting 2 other startups of my own. Not quite ready to launch the names at the moment, but I will over probably by the next meetup that we have. And I started writing a book. So changed up a little bit on things. So if you know anyone looking to start up an IT project, I definitely have the time. So reach out.
What's the definition of an IT project?
Any IT project related to software in my particular case. I do not work on hardware, I work specifically on software. So any websites, internal applications that need to be built, applications that need to be implemented, ERPs, any type of internal system that you need researched, found, implemented.
Terrific. Be matzliach.
No, thanks.
Okay, Michael Beer, you're next.
Morning, everybody. Hi, how are you? Good to see you all again. I think the last time I was on was before Corona. In about a week before, I think March 12th was the last time you had something like this, actually?
Yes, it was week before Corona.
Before Corona,
yeah. The webinar.
The webinar, yeah. So thank you for having me. I'm Michael Beer. I'm from Woodmere, New York, and I am the New York City ticket fighter. I fight tickets all over the city, upstate New York, Long Island, traffic tickets, moving violations, speeding, red light, stop signs, and those kinds of things. The traffic courts have been closed. They are not open yet. They're still closed. So I'm impacted by that. And things were starting to come back. Tickets were being issued, and then boom, the riot started. And the cops are all doing something else now, not writing tickets for the most part. So I've been impacted by Corona and by the riots. So I look forward to getting back to business. I don't think the courts are going to open in New York City until phase 3. So we're waiting for that. And I posted my my LinkedIn page and my email address in the chat. So thank you very much, Heshy.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, so we're at the end of the list here. The two people who we called out before they didn't respond, let's see if they're still available. We'll try them one more time. Joe Lapel, you there? Joe Lapel? Okay, we lost him. And Benjamin Blackman, are you there? Benjamin? Okay, no shows. Okay, so actually, let me just do myself as well. Even though Yitzi Pariser gave an introduction. So I'm Heshy Friedman, Radial Creations. Our business has been very much impacted by this whole situation. In the beginning, we started having projects being pulled out by clients who didn't have the funds anymore to start the projects. But now people are realizing that between Corona and the riots, that the most valuable real estate that they have today is their website. So that's today's day and age and today's reality. That's we've been very busy getting calls and from people who are looking to revamp their website and realizing that's one of their key components of business today. So we're looking for more of those types of jobs. So if you want to take your company to the next level online and realize that's your most valuable real estate, reach out to me or to Yitzi Pariser. And also just talking about post-corona and this group itself, I was almost ready to, put the whole group on for the whole RBBN, because how are we going to meet up and how are we going to do business together? But, sometimes you just have to make things work out as best as you can. And here we have the ability to do it on Zoom, although it's not the same as the in-person meetings. We definitely can get this going and still have the networking advantage, and many people can meet new people this way. And we have the follow-up spreadsheet and ways that people can get in touch with each other. So that's pivoting for today's day and age with what you have. And hopefully we'll be back in person next month. I'm hoping we can be able to do this, if not the month after. But we're still going to be hopefully doing this in the future as well, like an online version, so we can get additional people within the network. Is there anybody who did not have a chance to speak that I missed? If I missed anybody, please shout out now. Anybody?
I mean, I know you can't pronounce your
I'll take a shot.
How about Mickey Cohen?
Mickey Cohen, Mickey, you're on.
Hey guys, my name is Mickey Cohen. I call myself the flooring guy. I'm in the construction industry, always looking to network with contractors, designers, builders, real estate agents. The time of Corona, it's a very unique time. As a sales guy, I found it was a great opportunity to finally get in touch with people that you might have a hard time with and properly building up business relationships, even though I might not be able to make a sale, but you can plant a seed for the future. And to close off, I'm the flooring guy. So when you step on me, I get paid.
All right. Thank you, Mickey. Anybody else? Did we miss anybody else?
Yep.
Did Betsy Rosenberg speak?
Heshy, you missed
I
out.
didn't see Betsy.
I did not
yeah.
see it.
Hi. Okay, we got both of you here. Okay. Hi, I'm Andrew Rothwitz. You're on.
Good morning, Heshy. First of all, to answer your question, the challenges that we've been experiencing during the past few months, longer than anybody else, are really no different than we've been experiencing all the time. Basically, it's telling our clients that promotional products are not tchotchkes. Promotional products are a communications tool. The client may have to pivot in terms of what communication tools they're using in any given time. So right now, we're focusing on clients that have to reopen. However they're using it for reopening, letting people know that they're back in business or how they're back in business. Whether it's PPE, something that people 3 months ago didn't know how to spell, and now everybody knows what it means. But we're doing imprinted masks, for example. But it's a communications tool. It's not a tchotchke, and it's the lifeline of your business. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And Betsy Rosenberg, we missed you as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Name of the company is Corporate IT. We do IT support for companies. We've been doing some innovative projects, especially for some pediatricians' offices, getting them some lockdown kiosk type of computers that they can have in each exam room. So I'm looking to partner with anybody that's selling currently to pediatricians to see if we can do work together.
All right. Thanks, Betsy. Okay, so in closing, I think we got, again, if anybody left, please shout out now. Otherwise, I think we went through everybody, and we're gonna start going into the breakout rooms. Is there anybody left who didn't have a chance to introduce himself? Last chance. Anybody? Okay. So it looks like everybody's we went through everybody. So just in closing, before we go to the breakout rooms, in the meantime, Yitzi, I'm going to make you the host, and I'm going to give you the honors of just setting the random breakout rooms in the meantime when we're ready. But you're now the host. But just want
How do I do this? How do I do this?
I just you have a few minutes while we just wrap this up here. I just want to end off that this follow-up is the key to the networking. Like when you meet people in person, you obviously have a better understanding of who they are, and when you have the networking in person, there's a better way to follow up. Here on Zoom, there's a lot of people here, and you don't necessarily have the best way to understand who they are from just their 15-second introduction. What I suggest is everybody go through the spreadsheet. You can download it. Go through everybody in the list and try to identify them. And if you can be a good business lead or referral for them or do business together. That's the key thing, is a follow-up, just to go through the list and see if you have any good networking value and networking, contacts there that you could work with and do the follow-up. That's the key here. There's a lot of good people here on the group, and that's, I just want to end up in closing. Let's see if we can set this to go to the breakout rooms. What we're going to do is we're going to have random breakout rooms with everybody for like 5 minutes, and we'll have a smaller group for each people, and then they'll be in the group. Everybody can talk with each other, and that also gives a better way to network with each other. I've seen that in other network events that I've attended on Zoom, and it really does work. So you see any luck in setting the breakout room?
I don't see the settings here on my side. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay. Is there anyone here I've never done a breakout room before? I should really ask one of my kids. They probably will know how to do it. But is there anybody here who has, I'll make you the host, and we can get that done.
Go ahead, send it to me.
Rafi, okay, let me make you. Oh, Yitzi, can you make him, Rafi Salem, the host, please?
Or a co-host. You don't have to make me the full host. Just
okay.
Co-host. And how many minutes do you want to do it?
Let's do 5 minutes.
And we've got 30 people. 30 people, 6 breakout rooms, 5 people each. Is that good?
That sounds good, yeah.
You have 31 people. 31 people are on.
Correct. How many minutes, Heshy?
Let's do 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I mean, the program officially goes till 10 o'clock.
How do I do this, Heshy? I don't know how to do this.
Go on the right side, just do more, and select add and make a host.
I don't see this.
Yitzi, the top 3 dots on my picture, click on that and make host. Top 3 dots, top right of my picture.
There you are. Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Heshy, are we having 1 round or 2 rounds?
Well, let's start one, and then we can see if we can split the different people again. Again, we have till 10 o'clock. So let's start one, and then let's see how that goes, and then we'll do the next one with different people.
You got it, Rafi?
I now have control, but I have to go out and come back in probably.
Right. I don't see the option for breakout rooms under my Zoom account here.
All right, Heshy, I'll guide you. You see on the bottom? You should see on the bottom it says breakout rooms.
So I don't have, normally I've seen that before. I don't see that now. That's the problem.
Right, Yitzi, do you see breakout rooms on the bottom?
No, that's why I said I didn't have it. This is fun.
All right, you know what? You've never done breakout rooms before, right?
Correct.
No.
Okay, so you need to download an extra app. It's not going to work today.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, we'll do that for next time. Yeah, I mean, I have the premium Zoom version here, which is what we're using on that account. But
we'll speak after the call, and I'll walk you through the download.
Okay. Okay. So I guess in that I guess what we'll do is we won't have the advantage of the breakout rooms, but everybody's welcome to stay and chat with individual people or make your own breakout rooms with anyone you want to schmooze with, or just share any information here. So I guess we'll wrap up the official program right here. But as always, when we have the main event, everybody kind of sticks around and chats and has ideas to share. So feel free to stay here, chat with individual people, and share any ideas or things you want to share with everybody.
All right, thank you very
Just
much.
to clarify, Heshy, the next RBBN is probably going to be in person, or you're not sure yet?
Well, I was hoping this one would be in person, but you know, as long as it's safe and it's acceptable, we'll do it in person. So we'll have to play it by ear. That's part of the reason why it took a long time for me to figure out when to do this. Like I figured let me wait another 2 weeks before we see what's going on. But things are progressing, but they're not fast enough to determine if we'll have, you know, if we were going to have an in-person Zoom event. It really
if we have more than 50 people by event in person, is that going to be a problem to have something like that happen?
If it's a limited, I would still do it with a limited group. And if it's only 15 people, the first 15 people with spacing that register, we can do that. Maybe we can do that together with a Zoom meeting like this as well. So that way we can slowly get started with the in-person one. So maybe we'll do both next month.
Heshy,
we're going to take on your offer to help.
Heshy, if you start a protest during your meeting, you could go from 15 to like 400.
But don't forget that now we have people on this call from Israel, from Canada, from out of New York. So we don't want to we want to keep growing now. Next month will probably be a combination of in-person and Zoom. I mean, one event, maybe two events. We'll figure it out. But
right, there's definitely an advantage to having this where there are people who can't necessarily make it. That you know, in person, will still be able to join our group. I also want to maybe do this as well in the future. We can do the live events on Zoom. Maybe have a moderator that can kind of have the in-person people and the online people mixed together. You know, that might be a little challenge of how to do that, but that could be an option as well. You know,
maybe with the Zoom meeting conference room options.
Okay, these are all things that we can explore, and anybody who wants to help provide any background to that would be very helpful.
Heshy, thank you so much for everything you did and all those others that helped.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. I just want to also point out, next month I want to add that we'll have a Nick put together a form, a registration form that kind of has more specific questions that could be better for identifying who you are, and we'll try to work on breakout rooms that might be more tailored towards specific people that you could work better with. So Nick is actually working on that now. He has started setting up the form. We didn't have it ready for this session, but anyways, the breakout rooms didn't work. But hopefully in the future, we'll be able to use his form to identify specific people that could be better matched with others for smaller breakout rooms.
Heshy, if you want, I can give you breakout rooms in about a minute, and we can still try it this morning if you want, just a new click.
How would you do that?
Because I have another meeting running, and I can give everybody the click. They'll come out of this meeting into the other meeting with breakout rooms enabled.
Does anybody want to do that? Or want
to try that? We'll give it a shot.
Sounds good.
I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Hold on one second.
You're going to add it to the comments?
Hold on just a second. Just a second.
Going to show up in the chat?
I'm going to post it in a second for you. Give me a second. I'll give you the meeting number.
Heshy, if you end up doing this Zoom thing again, I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's not letting me run the two sessions. As much as I try to run the two sessions, it's not letting me run it. Zoom's too smart.
I wouldn't mind, Heshy, if you decide to do this Zoom thing again, if you did like 3 or 4 people. It was great to meet everybody again. It was really wonderful, and it went quick. Yeshkoach on that. But I also wouldn't mind if, 3 or 4 people went into a little bit more depth about what they do in very different fields, of course,
We could do that now.
Rafi, do you have the option to deal with breakup rooms on your end? If you do, just link and just control it on your end.
Everyone who has a premium account has that. Chaim and I both have the ability. You just have to. Everyone has to leave. Chaim, you've got to get out of this Zoom in order to invite.
I tried an incognito window. It still recognized that I was in the meeting.
Everybody, it was a pleasure. Support. Have a great day, everybody. Be matzliach. Be successful. Take care. Thanks again for running this.
Put it this way: we're down to 25 people now. So, Chaim, if you schedule a meeting or it's
I can give you the
9:54
number.
right now. If
Yep,
you
I can give you
schedule
the-
a meeting for 10 a.m.
Yep.
and then you put that link in the comments, the
Yep.
people that want to stay on for 10 a.m. can do breakout rooms.
Yep, okay. Give me 1 second. What the heck is going on? Mind you, I schedule meetings 4 times a day and normally, and now all of a sudden stuff doesn't want to work for me.
Well, your wife is behind you, so she's giving you a lot of pressure.
She's not awake in my first meeting of the day. She's not even awake. DOF is at 6:30. It's
Correct.
This is kind of turning into break room because people are leaving. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have our own break room right here.
Okay,
All right, still 23 people here, but
Okay, while we're doing that, why don't you pick like 1 or 2 people to like speak in depth, like they were just suggested.
No. Okay.
okay, let's pick somebody new over here. Let's pick somebody who hasn't been to our group
Here's
before.
the number, everybody. This is the number. It's 444. Let me post it for you.
Do we need a second? Do we need it at this point? I think we got a small group here left. We want to let's just leave a breakout room right here. This will be a big breakout room. I will give some new people an opportunity to speak for 2 minutes. Do we need? Yeah, because I feel if once we close off and we go on again, we'll kind of lose the whole effect.
Anybody that has to leave at 10 o'clock can leave, and the rest can stay around
Right.
for a little bit longer.
Okay, let's pick somebody new who hasn't been to our group before. Malkadina T. Why don't you give a little more about what you do and tell us a little more about yourself and relating to relating to Corona in general. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Gotta love Zoom, right? I recently just started working with Jason Left at H Harmonious doing personalized payroll solutions. Kind of doing business development, starting to get to know people, explore. So yeah, if you need personalized payroll, but yeah.
Okay.
So I'm from Seattle. I don't know, pretty far out there, but
You still live
yeah.
there now?
What?
You still live in Seattle?
Well, my family lives there. I got stuck in Passaic, so
I was gonna say it's pretty darn early there right now in Seattle. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning there.
yeah. I would not be up. No, maybe I would.
Right. Okay, thank you. Thanks for sharing. Jason, this is your first time here, right?
This is my first time here.
Okay, so go for it. Why don't you give a little more in-depth background?
All right, Michael, thank you for inviting me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been part of it. I know, Heshy, we tried starting something in Passaic, which kind of fizzled when Corona started. We would like to try to start that up again. That would be great, because these things are very valuable. Again, Jason Left, H Harmonious. I started my company a couple years ago. I'm a retired accountant. Decided that I love payroll, which sounds strange because who really loves payroll? I just found a way to help clients with using, with their payroll, with their systems, finding ways to streamline their systems, connect them to save them time, to save them money, and just to make it run smoother. Make sure your employees are paid properly. An unhappy employee is an employee who's not working well and you're wasting money. An employee you're not properly clocking his time is potentially stealing from you, whether he knows it or not. So we go in, we review the system for free. We go to understand your system and find ways to streamline it, make it run better, and just save money and save time. And that's just what we're all about.
All right. Thank you. Who else? Who has been? Pitney, you were here last time? Pitney, you're you're muted. Okay. With somebody else. Okay. Mickey, why don't you speak? You look different than last time with the long beard, so you're kind of new around here, Mickey.
Yeah, so ever since quarantine hit, I haven't been shaving, and my newest motto of the reason why I have my beard is because black beards matter, but I'm not going to get into that topic. You see me in person, it's a little bit brown, but whatever, it still works. Just to harp on one thing I said, and it's not really my idea, it's kind of hearing different things, hopefully I'll do it properly. Anyone who's in sales or anyone that's looking for customers, I think there's a great opportunity at this. It's like kind of a golden opportunity. People there's so much insanity going on that at the same time you have this unique opportunity that all those people that have been too busy or make themselves too busy, or whatever the exact detail is, you could really get in touch with them. And it's not necessarily about business. So like I know for me, I'm in the construction industry. I've been reaching out to different contractors, definitely not enough as I wanted to, but for whatever business you're in, you could reach out to people, ask them how things are going, any way you can help them, not necessarily that you could, and it's being personable, and you can really build up that relationship. And as things open up, there's a lot of hungry people out there. So my hunch is, I know like in construction, things are slowly opening up. There's people that are really booked up from all their emergencies and their regular jobs can't get done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming it's gonna be like that in other industries as well. So that's kind of my hush of a 2 cents for my pea brain to hopefully to help other people in a similar situation to myself. So yeah, that's basically it. Mickey
All right,
Cohen here with the beard until I shave.
Cool.
Thanks, Mickey.
What's it called? Heshy. Do you?
Yeah.
So I mean, right now I'm trying to launch a new business, which is a home automation business. Now the question is, I'll ask you something about your business. You do websites, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what does it cost to get like a basic website and brand off the ground?
Okay, that's a great question. Basically, every site every site really has to be thought out in terms of the process of how many pages it has, how much are we writing the content, are we doing the logo, all these things will make a personalized quote based on the project. But just to give you an idea of what a very generic answer is, that our base price for a website is, I'm not talking about a single page landing page, because that's not really a website, that's just a page. If you want like a long page scroll site, which is one page that has, as you click the menu, it scrolls down and it has everything on one page, that's our starting site. Those are our starting sites, about $2,500. Standard WordPress website runs more like in the $5,000 range. If there's going to be like a blog, or if there's going to be any additional material there, news, customer portal, that will affect the price. But on average, again, everything is different. But let's say an average WordPress site would be like $5,000.
Cool. Okay, right now it's a little out of my league, but I'll have to get into.
Maybe you can talk to David Kogel and getting a loan, a business loan, or other people on this group.
Interesting.
I talked to the payroll guy to cut the payroll, and then you have money for a new website.
Anyway.
Or when you're building your office and you want to walk on a nice floor. I'm not going to push the sale. I'm just saying people step on me all the time.
The question is, maybe when you're doing a nice floor for somebody with a high-end home, you'll tell them that they could get home automation for a good price.
That sounds like a great idea. I'll connect with you. If you don't have my phone number from the what's it called, I'll send it to you personally. Big fan of networking.
Yeah, you two guys would be a good match together for referrals and for referrals.
Oh no, now I have another friend.
All right, Aaron Deutsch, let's hear from you. Why don't you give us a little more spiel?
Sure, I love to spiel. So Aaron Deutsch, I'm part of Norman Bobber & Co. We are a tenant representative brokerage. So we only represent the best interests of tenants and business owners in New York City and the boroughs. We will help you lease space, buy space. I was saying a little bit before in my quick 15 seconds that right now what we've been dealing with are a lot of reassessing. I mean, many businesses are reassessing how much space they actually need. And I think something that every business needs to think about, because your second highest expense behind your payroll is, how am I going to optimize my rent? How am I going to optimize my space to be the most efficient as possible? So if anyone does have office space or retail space or industrial space, and you just want some help understanding, what your options are going forward, even if you're on the hook for a certain amount of liability for a few years, we have been showing tenants their options and with lease terminations or renegotiations. So it's just something to think about. It's a very important thing. And you know, the best part is that we're on your side exclusively. We don't represent any building owners or landlords, so we're on your side.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Chaim, what's going on with you? How you doing? Chaim Jacobson. You Jacobson.
I never know if you're talking to me or somebody else.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of. We have another Chaim here. We have another Jacobson here. So.
Yeah, Gabriel Jacobson. Yeah, I know Gabriel. So you know, business is kind of slow, right? On the accounting side of the business, usually we have a mad rush in March and April. That really was more of a trickle. So we're busier now than we normally are in June. A lot of people still think they should wait to the last minute. That's fine, I guess. It sucks for them if they would have been due a refund because now they've waited for their money. But some people take our advice and get us their papers as soon as they can. Some don't. The other issue is there's delay in getting paid. Also, people are struggling. They don't necessarily have the funds now to pay us, so we're working with them. The legal side, where we have matters that have to go through the court system, is basically at a standstill. You can file stuff electronically, but for certain things where we need to be there in person, like to go to the records room or to file petitions that can't be filed electronically, right? We're at a standstill, particularly when it comes to estates and that sort of stuff. We've done a lot of work around the PPP loans, helping people get the loans, advising them in some cases that they probably are not eligible for it. And coming soon is going to be, helping people fill out their applications for, what do we call it? For the forgiveness of the loan, which is going to be a very big deal. And that's sort of where we stand, in terms of our business. So if anyone needs any help or anything or has any questions, obviously feel free to reach out to me.
Can I ask a question?
In fact, after last month's session, someone in the group did actually reach out to me, and we talked a little bit about his particular issue. The other important thing to note, if you did receive a PPP loan, the President signed HR 7010, which extends the amount of time you have to use your PPP funds from 8 weeks to 24 weeks. A couple other minor details, but that's the bigger gain from HR 7010.
Can I ask a question I think you might know the answer to?
Sure.
If you didn't get that stimulus check, what does one do?
You're talking about like the $1,200 or the additional $500 check?
$1,200, correct.
Okay, so we actually had a client yesterday who, on his own, he actually called the IRS and got to speak to a person. Lucky him. Wow. Turns out he had moved from out of the country. Turns out his social security number had an issue. We've had clients who got their checks in a matter of days. We have clients who haven't gotten their checks. If the check hasn't come, the check is really a prepayment of a tax credit for 2020. So if you were in fact eligible based on either your 2018 or 2019 tax return and didn't receive the check, you'll get an extra credit on your 2020 return, which may or may not be helpful. But there's no like magic pill that we have to figure out why you haven't or anyone hasn't actually received their check.
Well, there is a website though that says, where's my check or something. Where's my check.org, something like that.
Yeah, there is yeah.
I went on that website, it said it was mailed, but my feeling is they may have mailed it to my old address or something.
Okay, so that's certainly possible. Like they were gonna, if your last filed tax return didn't have banking information, then you get a paper check. And if the last address the IRS had based on your last filed tax return is not your correct address, then the check probably went to that address. I don't know if you have a way of contacting, the people who are at that address, see if they got the mail. But there's, the IRS is going to send it to the last known information they have for you.
Chaim, if I could just interject for a second, it doesn't come in as a paper check, it comes in as a debit card.
That's more recent. I know people who got checks.
You know
and
people
then,
who got real checks? Okay.
Yeah, and then ironically, the IRS, even though they tell you all the time that these debit card things are scams, they decided to send out debit cards. Why is beyond me.
Now,
But yeah,
out
there are
of
people getting
curiosity,
debit
what happens to those people that have a check sent to the wrong address? Does that mean someone else is able to use it, or if someone gets the debit card, someone else is able to use it?
I would think so.
yes,
That's one of the issues
no.
with debit cards is anyone can use it, right? With a check, the bank has to be willing to cash it for them,
right?
With someone else's name on it.
Right. The check would seem to be more secure.
Well, yeah, the most secure way is electronically, right? And people who had banking information on their last filed tax returns, they got the money directly debited into their account. That's the most secure, but a check would be more secure.
But bottom line, though, if you didn't get it, though, you will be able to utilize a credit towards your 2020 return, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And what if you're due a refund in 2020?
Well, it would increase your refund. It's a refundable credit.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sure.
If we're in a breakout room here, can I just bring up a totally different topic and a different question? I've got on a business sense. I'm looking for somebody to give me ideas.
Go ahead.
All right.
All
Okay.
about
Thank you. And I apologize that I took myself off of camera, but for my network speed wasn't fast enough to be able to handle everything, and suddenly everything started freezing up. So by closing down my camera, I got better at it. We developed in the beginning of this whole quarantine period a phone system to use for schools. In other words, all these different conference lines that schools use to be able to the kids to be able to call in. So this was structured as a school. It's one number for each school that the whole school calls into, and each one of the kids will choose their class, and they get into the class. They have a conference. The conference gets recorded. The Rebbe and the teacher each.
I think we lost them.
Setting themselves up for other recordings that they can make, and also students can leave them voicemails. The reason why I'm asking this question right now is because as we're sort of getting out of quarantine, we're wondering if there's a lot of work that we had put into the system and customizing it for schools. Is there anything that we can use this system to sort of pivot into a different different use or a different industry? Is there anything else? Does anybody have any ideas what this can be used for? We're a IT support company, so we're getting back now into the IT support of businesses that are coming back into work. But we're wondering if this product that we've put so much work into can be pivoted to use for something else. Does anyone have any kind of like input, concepts, ideas?
So I had a similar thing where I built a product for schools during Corona. And I sold it to 6 schools. It was based on Zoom tablets and whatever. It was something I sold to 6 schools. The 6 schools used it, and they're still using it. And then as soon as, or 5 schools now are using it. And they, but like, I don't expect, I stopped putting resources into it as soon as I stopped getting more schools. And the reason why I did that is because I don't think, I think that when you design a product for a certain use case, it's usually very hard to sort of repurpose it. Unless you have something that really fits. I mean, if you're talking about the development effort, it would take new development effort to get it into another use case. The question is, if you can use the phone lines that you have, or you can use like like if you can use the code for the system. I highly doubt you'll find a reusable case for it. For the phone lines, you can, I mean,
Can I jump in and give my 2 cents?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, I don't know I'm not an IT, but I know the power of having these calls is kind of keeping people together, correct?
Right.
So maybe, I know that you don't have this anywhere, but now that you have this product / service available, you can maybe present it to different camps throughout the year if they want their bunkmates to stay connected. Something to offer an opportunity where people don't have to go anywhere, and a once a month or something, whatever, they can have whatever type of reunion. I don't know, I'm just trying to think out of the box of which groups of people.
That's a good use for the phone lines that you have.
That's a fascinating idea, Mickey. Thank you. By the way, I'm David Gelfish. Thank you so much for putting what you did onto the Excel spreadsheet, because that's what made me think of presenting this question to the group. You said you did some things for COVID, and now you're looking to get into home automation. And I said, this is something I really should see if I can sort of get everybody's ideas off of. And Mickey, that's a great idea. One of the things that we were thinking of is selling it to schools to have as a tool, just in case there's a day off, just in case there's a snow day, just in case there's another quarantine or whatever it is, and have it like a low price thing on hold, just that the structure's there in case anything happens, you're able to just jump right into it.
Or at the same time, figure out if you could integrate to like public schools for when people can't make it in and still want to catch up on school or something. I know maybe with them, Zoom might be better. It depends how the sale or things are marketed, because now everybody's definitely has a much bigger eye opener of having school system continue running without necessarily going to school. So that's going to create a new opportunity for a guy like yourself to make a new sale. So we have the opportunity to help you stay connected. Which days, as far as things are you missing, which people or something, and you could, I mean, I don't know if that's helpful or not, but something along the line.
Right. Yeah. These are all helpful ideas, and I appreciate all of it. We were talking at one point with a school that was thinking of having this as an evening thing with the students, even after they get back to school, so that they would have a different set of rebbes or a different set of things that some of the grades would get together to do, let's say either chazara or homework in their homes during the evening, still on this kind of a line.
And what about yeshivas? Is there any yeshivas that could benefit from stuff like this?
I'm talking about yeshivas. That's what we were talking about.
No, like high school, not elementary.
Right. We have actually some high schools and some elementaries on our system right now. And it actually works beautifully for both high schools and elementaries.
So if you have someone, let's say, post-based medrash, and some guys move out or different things, you could use it as a thing for alumni, like the Rebbe, that close Rebbe that people have that still want to stay connected or something. I don't know. I think it's a great tool to have to try to figure out how you could sell it. Again, I don't know the costs or everything like that to make sure it makes sense. You definitely have a fabulous tool, I would say, or product or service.
Yeah. Well, the people who are using it love it. And the question was really how to pivot this as we go forward. And I appreciate all the ideas that have been brought forth.
Are you the one that gets the credit for my kids calling into Yeshiva Katana of Passaic?
Yes, it's our company. It's my partner who developed it.
Job well done.
Hey, Bensi, where's your brother? Shimon. He should be on here. He should have been on this group.
Shimon probably would have done it from a job site or something. He'd probably be showing us all the steel beams that are coming in and all the the concrete planks that are being put down.
Tell him we missed him.
Okay, I will. Definitely.
I probably speak to more than you on LinkedIn, but.
Heshy.
An additional idea for Bensi, I think Mickey was saying, is even potentially using it for seminaries, having, kind of in the reunion type of sense, because you have different years. If you have somebody call into a year, could potentially go in that direction too.
Right, like seminary teachers that want to.
The other thing is,
seminary girls like the phone, so.
Bensi, the other thing is, especially in Israel, they don't have, all they have is cell phones, or if cell phones. And a lot of yeshivas are now conducting shiurim to all the boys that are not back in yeshiva because of the restrictions in the dorm, all the chutznik boys, and they're dialing in from overseas. So you may want to reach out to the yeshivas. I know my son's yeshiva is running shiurim by telephone now for the last.
It doesn't work half the time. The other thing that you
Right.
do, a lot of the Israeli yeshivas have been looking and kind of struggling where they don't want to use the video. So the regular Haredi yeshivas, they want something where the yeshiva can keep in touch with former Talmudim. This may be the solution because then they can easily do a regular shiur once a month, once a week, whatever it is. Gives them an opportunity for even fundraising outreach because they're keeping in touch. So it becomes a development. Position it as a development tool to the Israeli yeshivas rather than how to give shiur. It might work.
Benzi, did you ever hear of someone Naftali Frankel?
No.
He's a guy you know who has a business that works together with school curriculum or something like that. I don't know if that would be a good connect. Maybe I could connect you with him since you're both, in a sense, in the same line of work, working together with schools. Maybe you could collaborate some type of package or something so this could continue being an ongoing service that all the hard work you put in continue being benefited from.
Perfect. That would be great.
Benzi, do you only deal with schools when you're not without this product in your IT business, where you deal exclusively with schools or other businesses as well?
Actually, no. We concentrate on companies in our IT business. It's just because we do voice over IP as part of our IT support, and a school reached out to us. Hey, you do voice over IP? Can you do this? And
right. So
said, in response to COVID, we got to do something for the cloud type of thing.
Right. So what I would suggest is also just being focused. When you look at your product, look at it from its benefit aspect, like what is the benefits it creates for people, and then look for other spaces that can benefit, that want that benefit. Because a lot of people, when they're trying to do business, I think some people are finding that it's so much easier to be on a conference call than to be distracted by the screen. So you might find that, especially when you're looking at some of the therapy spaces, some of the legal spaces, a lot of them have pivoted in this time. They said, oh, well, we're never going online and we're never using any of these conference calls and Zooms and whatnots. But now it's become part of their culture. And I think when the world goes back to quote unquote normal, they're going to want to start integrating some of these things into their business. So I think if you look at your tool from a benefit aspect of what benefits it creates for a business, for a person, you can start to market it to other industries as well that are looking for those specific benefits.
Great. Look, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, Rob, you weren't on the main program here. Why don't you give a little introduction to yourself?
All right. So, my name is Rob Moshe Schaumer from Toronto. I'm a business coach, serial entrepreneur, NLP practitioner, and my focus right now is building men's teams. It's a coaching space, a group coaching space, and a mastermind space from married businessmen with children. I was in this space for over a decade, building Jewish men's teams in Toronto. It was a secular space for Jewish men, but now I realized I want to focus more on the frum community. And what I do is I focus my energy on helping other men get out of their way, because we have so much capability, and very often the biggest hurdle to what we're trying to achieve is just us. We're just standing in our way and getting in our way and holding ourselves back. So I work with men and help them get out of their way so they can achieve their goals at a higher speed.
All right. Add yourself. You have a link to the spreadsheet that we have.
I did.
Okay, you did already.
Yitzi gave me the link. He invited me in. Yitzi, thanks for bringing me out here.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Hey, and we have Benjamin Blackman. Benjamin, we tried to. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I had an issue in the morning.
You giving the introduction twice, and then we couldn't hear you or see you.
I had an issue with my mic on my computer and on my tablet. So I tried calling in and it didn't work the first time. I had to do it again. But I was listening the whole time.
Oh, okay. So I guess you heard us call you out, but you couldn't respond.
Exactly.
All right. So go for it. Go tell us about yourself.
My name is Benjamin Blackman. I live in Monroe, New York, and I'm a salesman for a company that provides VoIP phones. Whoever doesn't know what that is, voice over IP. And I've been new on this line for the last half a year. It's my first time here on this meeting, and actually I enjoy it.
Oh, thank you.
It's pretty cool listening what everybody has to say. And but my company is 25 years in this line, and you were talking before about Corona. In a way, as a salesman, it was very hard because a lot of people decided that they didn't want to do business. They were not in the mood of doing business. So anytime I called somebody during Corona, he said, you know what, I'll talk to you after. I have no patience. So some people use it as an excuse, and some people really didn't want to do business or couldn't do business. And I felt that in the last week or two, people started talking again business. This Sunday my first meeting since before Corona.
Wow.
And it was actually a pretty successful meeting with a huge company, and I enjoyed it. But upstate is a little different. I think most of you guys are from Brooklyn. It's a little different over there. Here we didn't even feel the ride.
Where are you at?
Monroe, New York.
Monroe, okay.
So
I
we
might be heading to
started
Monroe today. I might be heading to Monroe today doing a delivery, so maybe I could say hi.
I can't see you, but I'm talking to the Step On Me guy.
Yeah. My job is to floor people. So today, usually I don't deal with deliveries, but today, part of keeping myself busy, an excuse to leave the house, I might be doing one or two of those fun, stressful, awesome jobs.
Mickey, on the way to Monroe, stop by my office. Okay, we'll have a schmooze.
I'm also going to Muncie, and then somehow I might end up upstate. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Mincha Ma'ariv is 8 o'clock, so I'll see how my day goes.
So I think next time we have a meeting, you have to be on the meeting the day before you come here, because you have already 3 meetings on the way here.
Well, one tidbit I'll tell you, Mr. Benjamin Blackman, right?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not any sales expert, and I'm always intrigued to learning more. Sometimes I find if you let someone know that, hey, by the way, this is not a sales call, just calling to see how things are going. I know business for me is not working. I'm assuming things are not working with you, because sometimes people are just, it's very weird. You know, all of us, it's an interesting creation. So at times this insanity could turn for positive, or sometimes it could be, I just can't deal with it. In other words, that sometimes between the lines means I'm so bored and I have nothing to do and I'm going so crazy that I just don't have time to talk. Not necessarily, so if you just maybe as a sales guy, try to come from a different angle, say, hey, I'm just here to talk. I'm not here to do any sales. How are things going? Things with me, as just like everybody else, business is really not going well. And really just perk a conversation and hear what's going on and say, look, I'm even going to throw out a crazy idea. I don't know if there's any way I can help you. And I've asked that to people, and I would love to try to help them. I know a good chance if they say they do need some type of help, very possibly I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm just going to throw the idea out there. So just breaking up a conversation and carrying a conversation, then that whole phone call could go 60 seconds. Okay, no problem. Listen, let me know if you need anything. As you know, this is what I do, and that's it. So you ended off with what you do. You had a nice conversation with the guy, and you're doing a marketing, you're just staying in his brain. So when he comes across that product or service you need, you can be there. Again, I don't know. I'm just sharing, this is a breakup room. So someone chime in to add or.
Well, Mickey, I think that I agree with you in principle, but I think the attitude should be a little bit more positive instead of saying, well, everything stinks right now. I think it should be this is the time to put a more optimistic approach to it. Like, things might be slow.
Oh, 100%. I won't say business is horrible. If someone asks me how business is doing, I usually tell them business is booming. And then I watch their reaction of like, really? I'm like, well, I have hundreds of thousands of square feet in stock. I have delivery guys ready to go. The only thing I'm missing is customers, So we try to make it exciting. But
I like what you said, and I'll add up something, if I may. I started sales about a half a year ago. Before I started sales, I had 2 things. Number one, I always thought that sales is run after people, run after sales. You have to make crazy people. Sometimes you have to say something that it's not 100% true to catch a customer, which I found out it's truly wrong. That's number one. Number two, before I heard that if you sit down with somebody, if he's a Yankee fan, be a Mets fan. you can't be on the same page because you have to talk about something else besides business as well. But I realized one thing what you said that I realized listening to a lot of sales meetings in the last half year, that besides doing sales with people, it's very good to get connected to them and talk to them just about everything and anything. A lot of times I talk to somebody, I don't talk about business, I just talk about basic life. Sometimes start with a conversation and talk to them 15 minutes about nonsense. Ends up that we talk about business, especially now in Corona. A lot of people and a lot of customers that I had, I just stopped by to say hello, how you doing, how's everything? Or sending a message. How you doing? How you feeling? How's your family doing? Not even touching base of business. Just like you said, getting connected sometimes to people and to business so you just have a mutual connection, even to be friends. It ends up in the end, sometimes you get a good customer because of that. That's what I think. What do you say?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. There's always an acronym that someone told me that I try to remember in sales. The word is called WAIT, W-A-I-T, which stands for Why Am I Talking? So it's definitely, it might sound a little bit, what's it called? But I think it's a very powerful thing. You call a guy, just, you just let the guy talk, let the person talk, hear what the person has to say, and then you just end off the phone call and see if you can help them / make a light sale. I mean, again, I'm not the most successful sales guy, but I'm just sharing you my 2 cents.
I'll
add up another thing.
Yomi is so important because you can
I'm
talk about Daf Yomi at all times with anybody, and then segue into what you need to talk about.
I didn't hear you clearly.
I said that's why Daf Yomi is so important. You can talk about the Daf with anyone who does it, and then you can segue into all the business things.
There you go. Talking about Daf, it's funny that sales, a lot of times people think you start with your friends, you start with your family, you start with people you know, the community you grew up with. But a lot of times you have to go out to other places, out of town. I mean, my company covers from Connecticut to Baltimore, all over the place. But in the Corona now, the last 3 months, it was very hard to talk that people beside your community, because a lot of places people were very strict, especially in the non-Jewish world. You couldn't talk to people. People were sitting home, and I think it was very hard to talk to the outside world. And I spoke to a few salespeople that the only sales that they did was in their community, because it was much easier because they found each other more than the outside world.
I think that, Benjamin, I hear what you're saying. It makes me think of a story I once heard, that there was this big storm outside and snow and the city was shut down, and the salesman wakes up and he says, oh, everybody's inside today. And he goes back to sleep, right? He says, there's no opportunity today. And there's another salesman at the other side of town. He looks out the window and he sees this big storm and he says, everybody's inside today. What a great opportunity. And he goes out and he gets everybody because he's the one that's chapping their eye and going after opportunities. I think when when we give ourselves, I see right now, and right really from the moment COVID started, I just kept on telling myself over and over, Hashem has just set up a world of opportunity. The Rabbi Shalom's in the world. So all we have to do, we're on the winning team, just play with the Rabbi Shalom. He's, so just look for opportunity, and you see left, right, and center, people are chapping their eye and they're really succeeding. So I think it's the rules that we place. And one of the things, echoing what Mickey and Michael were both saying, is that there's a I don't have the acronym, but I don't have an acronym for it, but one of the things in the process of closing business, the order goes marketing, sales, and our offer. We always start with marketing, where we're changing a person's belief so we can get to a sale. And then the sale is presenting an offer and overcoming objections, and closing is guiding them to that action step. But we always have to start with marketing. And very often when it comes to marketing, it's when we're connecting with them emotionally. So the schmooze is not just a, no choice. It's like something that maybe comes up. It's an ikar part of the presentation. And I often encourage people when they're going into anything, especially in sales, is always be studying how to be an effective marketer. When you're coming in, the person doesn't want to be sold. They want you to focus on what's the most important thing in their world, and that's themselves. If you focus on them and you join them in the conversation that's in their head, and you make them feel good and special and significant, and they feel that you care and that they can relate to you, then you've already broken down the wall so you can go into the sales. So it's so important whenever you're going into any situation, figure out what's going on in the person's head and join them in that conversation that's going on in their head. And then when you do that, the sales becomes just that next step, right? Because when you call up and you're in sales mode, you're right, they don't want to hear you. But with a number of my clients, when this happened, we got them focused on just building relationships, just checking in on their clients, and even new relationships. They just were having a conversation with them. They didn't even go into sales on the first call, but by the second and third call, now they have a relationship, and that sales conversation becomes much easier. So I would definitely encourage, always think of yourself as a marketer first. Don't think of yourself as a sales guy. Think of yourself as a marketer, and then from the marketing, go into the sales and then the offer.
Yeah.
Very well said. Very well said. Love that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
By the way, somebody.
When you said a story popped into my head from Adam Lieberman. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. Adam Lieberman does sales training and coaching. I was once by one of his, it was a networking event, and he was a guest speaker. So hopefully I repeat the story properly. I found that it's a fascinating story. The example he gave was a guy comes into a dealership to buy a car. There's a $5,000 car. The guy says, "Hey, can I take it for a test drive?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." Before, so the guy goes for a test drive, and when the guy comes back, and before the guy leaves, he says, "Hey, I'll give this, if you like it when you come back, I'll give it to you for $4,500. So the potential customer goes out, drives around, comes back in. He's like, "I can't settle on $4,500. I have to always make a better deal." So like he comes back in and he tells the sales guy, the car sales guy, "Hey, can I get the car for $4,300? And the car sales guy said, "Sure. Here, sign right here. The car is yours." Okay, and then we're gonna do another role play, the same exact thing, but we're just gonna have a little bit of a different twist. A guy comes to see the same car, and the car sales guy says, "Hey, if you like it when you come back, I'll give it to $4,500. And the guy comes back and says, "Hey, can I get a little bit of a better deal, $4,300? And the sales guy, not in a nice way, kind of yells at him, saying, "I should give it to you for I should give it to $4,300. I could sell this car today for $5,000. I'm already giving you $500 off for $4,500. Like, what does that even? You know something? Okay, if you're ready to sell right now, I'll give you $50 off, and I'll give it to you for $44.50. So now you have two people driving home. One person is gonna feel like a king, like, I got the sales guy another $50 off, and he paid more money. And then you have another guy who paid less money, and he's kicking himself in the pants saying, the guy agreed at 43, maybe I could have got it for less. So the way, when he said that story, it was such an eye-opener, saying it's not necessarily about the price, it's not necessarily about, how it is, it's about the relationship, how you're offering your service, product, whatever it is, to the customer. And it was like a real game changer, because it's like crazy. You have two people, one person paid more money, is feeling better about himself, versus a person who paid less money, and they both had the same product, the same everything. That was like a fascinating story that he said.
Mickey, I think those were the same guys that sold me the car last week during Muslim and Shabbos Garrett. You know that joke, right?
Yeah, but in Teaneck, the joke is not happening anymore, because this past Shabbos was the first Shabbos they opened up davening outdoors. No one's inside shuls. I know Muncie's probably been indoors for the last 3 weeks or so. I don't even know.
Depends which shuls. Some shuls were open the whole time.
Whatever.
But most shuls opened up in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot going on here. If you guys forgot what quarantine's like and you want to see a museum, feel free to drive by Teaneck, and you can see how things are playing out. It's like, yeah, I remember the Corona days.
I'm just waiting for the first Kiddush. Okay. Anyone else want to say anything?
Second. Ken, do you have anything to share? You've been pretty quiet.
No, just been kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out here the last 15 minutes, but all good. Business good. So I'm actually going to sign off now and get back to my customers. But thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining. Thank you.
Actually, what a great breakout room. This was amazing.
Look at that. You see? The breakout room is right in the end. We do got to figure it out for next time.
Okay, Heshy, I didn't get a chance to speak during this breakout session, but I just wanted to go into a little bit more. So, I'm running this magazine for Baruch Hashem 16 years. Things were a little slow. I had this guy who was advertising with me for years. I've been dealing with them, called J Synergy in Long Island, and they do solar. And they told me that they're looking for someone to bring their operations to Muncie. So I got into the.
Sorry about that. The phone is ringing.
So I got into the parasha, and I see that I'm able to save people serious amounts of money. So we have all kinds of government incentives and financial incentives, and I'm thinking, like I said, there was one person who actually is in the mortgage industry, and she has a nice house here in Pomona, and she was shocked when she saw that over, people don't realize how much you spend on electricity. Over the next 25 years, people are going to be spending anywhere between $70,000 and $130,000 on their electricity. And if you get a solar system now, and you pay it out over 15 years, and after the 10 years after that, you already own the equipment that's free. I mean, it's incredible how much money they're able to save. So if you guys hear, and any financial advisors dealing with people looking to long-term to save a nice amount of money, whether it's the financial advisors, roofers, builders, any kind of lead of people who could negate this, I would be greatly appreciative if you guys send the information my way, because this is something that it looks like I'm going to be doing a significant amount of work with, and I'd love to have this work out as well as the magazine.
Right. You put that in the spreadsheet, right?
Right. So I started to. I put in the front page and J Synergy, and I'm going to put in the information.
Okay.
Chaim.
Yeah.
Regarding the magazine, which thank you for the ad that we put in this past month. But one thing that we've learned over here with this networking group is that going from local to bigger picture. We have people here from Israel, from Canada, from Toronto, from Montreal, from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. And now might be a time to consider, in addition to doing the printed version, which goes to the Rockland area and part of New Jersey, maybe it's time to start doing like an online edition, like on a website, which can be seen by people around the world at any time of day or night, and not just limited to the pigeonhole of the Muncie area.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we've been discussing that, redoing our website for a long time, because we don't put up the. It's very dated. Our website is over 10 years old. You're gonna have to talk about that.
Yes, we will.
All right, we'll do.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, have a good one. Okay, I'm gonna get going. It's nice meeting everybody. Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you,
I just got a fun phone call just to share with you guys 2 seconds. A guy called me up because he sent me a Venmo. I'm not so familiar with Venmo, but I had it on a setting on public, not on private. So like every I send or something. So that was actually a pretty funny eye opener. And then I started looking at public of like different things. And there's one transaction that I thought it was funny. One guy sent something to someone else saying illegal goods, but whatever. Either way, if you have Venmo, there's a setting on Venmo to have it where you're able to be private. So if you want to send a message of what you're sending the money for or what you got the money for, nobody has to see it. So
I never understood why they had that setting to begin with. Why does anybody need to know what money I sent, or why is that public information for? It's like the yeshiva where you give them, like, let's say, $20 million to put a name on the door. Like it's like $55 for buying me my coffee today in Starbucks. Like I don't understand what the.
It's a great marketing. It gets people to stay on Venmo and talk about Venmo. I don't know.
Okay, guys.
I got a question. When is the next meeting gonna be?
We'll figure that out. Probably sometime in July.
We usually do it's usually the first Tuesday of the month. If there's something else going on, let me see what's going on next Tuesday. Next July 3rd is it's going to be.
I know what's going on. It's going to be hot in July.
Okay, well, it doesn't make a difference. We'll either be in person or
air
on the phone here. On the air conditioner. Yeah, it's probably going to be, like I said, July 7th, and we'll figure out where, when, how. And like Mickey said, we should still do one that's, even if we're going to be in person, we should still have a virtual event or kind of virtualize it.
Actually, when is What's with Thomas?
Let's see. Obviously, that's not a good day for a breakfast. Shabbos of Thomas is on Thursday the 9th.
Okay, fine.
So it's 2 days before. It's fine. Yeah. So,
All right, guys, I'm gonna close out. I gotta start my day.
Me too. I got work to do.
Yep.
If anybody wants to stay on and chat, I can make you a host, and you can continue. Anybody still want to stay on, or did we get we covered all the bases here?
For hosting.
Okay. All right. 45 minutes overtime here on breakout room. Thank you very much, everybody,
Thank
for
you
joining.
so much, Heshy. Thank you so much, TSC.
Thanks, and be well.
Okay.
All the
Appreciate
best.
it.
Everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you all next month, July, what did I say, 7th? And I will send out a follow-up recap email with the snapshots and the Excel spreadsheet, and we'll go from there. All right? Take care.
All the best. Call to.
Be well.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.